This is the DJI Lito 1. It's a drone that features pretty much the same camera as the DJI Mini 2 and the DJI Mini 4K, with some added bonuses of some longer flight time and the addition of a forward-facing LiDAR sensor that allows intelligent return to home. In addition to the DJI Mini 4K, it also has some additions, especially in terms of software. It allows you to do some basic tracking without obstacle avoidance, and overall creates a compelling option for something very entry level. In this video, we're going to go over it, we're going to check it out, we're going to review it, and we're going to see if this drone is truly worth it for today, especially with such a competitive landscape in the drone industry. In here, in the Fly More kit that I have, it comes with the RC itself, the drone, a gimbal cover, and the parallel charger with an additional 2 batteries, so 3 batteries total. The drone itself seems to be rather well built, and you'll just notice the LiDAR sensor on the front, and that's it. First, I'm going to go find some places to fly on Drone Map. Drone Map shows me the ground rules and some of the best spots to fly in the area. So I'm going to head over to one of the spots that I found and fly this drone, and we'll test it. First up, the obstacle avoidance is LiDAR based, which means it's actually pretty good, at least when forward facing. Obviously, when you're looking at obstacle avoidance anywhere else, this only has a front LiDAR sensor. So the front-facing LiDAR sensor is really good. Obviously, though, you only have front-facing LiDAR, so you are not going to get obstacle avoidance when flying backwards, to the side, etc. And when you enable any type of the tracking features, the drone will turn off the front-facing LiDAR and will not use it for obstacle avoidance. So something to keep in mind if you are using this for tracking is to make sure you fly it high above. The benefit, though, to that LiDAR is that it does allow you to fly at night and use the LiDAR to detect obstacles at night, which is an added bonus. This drone itself does come with a parallel charger that allows you to charge 3 batteries, and each of those batteries got me about 30 to 40 minutes of flight time. It ended up, in practicality, on a rather windy day at about 35 minutes of flight time. Off the bat, though, it does not look like it includes any ability to add ND filters on there, so it is something to keep in mind that it is more of an entry-level drone. If you have a DJI Mini 2 or Mini 4K, I believe the camera and gimbal assembly is pretty similar, so clip-on ND filters will probably work. This drone has no onboard storage, which means you're going to be entirely relying on an external SD card to plug in and then get storage from. The propellers on this drone are screw-in, which means that they individually must be screwed in and you have the potential to strip them if you're not careful, unlike the DJI Mini 5 Pro, which just came out with the locking propellers. If you've been paying attention to some of the newer drones, however, you'll know that when you fully unfold the drone, it sometimes automatically turns on. This is now present in the DJI Mavic 4 Pro and the Mini 5 Pro. However, when you unfold this drone, nothing does happen. In terms of transmission quality, this is pretty good as well. I did notice that it is not as good as maybe the DJI Mini 5 Pro, but the transmission is still pretty decent. I did not really notice it dropping in a whole lot. I did notice a little bit of lag, maybe flying at a distance, but it did not really strike me as out of the ordinary. As for recording quality, it says that it does 4K 60. The gimbal is also pretty basic. It is just purely horizontal. It does not do anything fancy like the DJI Mini series. The zoom on this does allow you to go up to 3x, but it does kind of crop in the sensor, and I have a suspicion that it is not actually 48 megapixels, but just 12 megapixels. The camera on this is on par with the DJI Mini 4K. I don't have that drone directly on me, but I do have some of the sample footage when I took that and tested that drone. I'll be including all the photos and videos and some of the screen recordings that I captured, and I'll be putting them online for download via Drone Invoice. There you can check them out and download them and see if they are worth something you want to buy. So it does look like they've taken the same gimbal assembly, strapped it onto a new body with an addition of a LiDAR sensor, added some more software control for the tracking, and you have a pretty much very similar drone to the DJI Mini series, at least the Mini 4K. The video itself seems actually decent quality. If you're familiar with the quality on the DJI Mini series, especially the initial ones, the 2 and the 4K, it's on par with that, as well as the photo quality is 12 megapixels and looks pretty solid there. Overall, the quality is inherently really solid. Software works fine. The drone does hover pretty well. It is noticeably less than maybe a DJI Mini 5 Pro, but then again, it only has a single camera sensor on the bottom. It is fundamentally a DJI Mini 4K in terms of the camera, some of the sensors on the bottom, maybe even the motors, maybe with just an upgraded longer battery, and that addition of that LiDAR sensor on the front. One of the few downsides with this drone, however, is the fact that you are stuck with an RC that does not have a screen. You have no ability to get a controller that just has a built-in screen, so you will be stuck with using your phone. For some people that's adequate, for some people it's not. This RC's layout is a little bit different. I suspect though that this is just the specific version that I have, and it will probably follow the very standard DJI RC N2, N3 kind of format with the option to attach your phone additionally. The nighttime quality on this drone is not great. And why is that? Because it's only a 1/2-inch sensor. You're going to notice pretty quickly that you are restrained by the size of the sensor, and the ISO and the capability to increase that doesn't work too well. So you really will have a lot of noise in both your photos and videos. That is expected and is actually very common across what we saw with the DJI Mini 2. Another thing to keep in mind too is this drone does seem to be slightly louder than I would expect. As in, when I fly my DJI Mini 5 Pro, it's quieter, and this seems to just be slightly more loud. I noticed that's a weird coincidence that the cheaper end drone tends to be a little bit more quieter, but I guess that's probably intentional. Now, who do I think should actually buy this drone? Well, I think you should probably consider this if you're looking for an entry-level option. Anything else on the market on this price range, the main competitor I can think of is probably Potensic, does have the ability to have a built-in screen, but also does not have any obstacle avoidance. So you really are making the trade-off on whether or not you want to purchase this drone for that added obstacle avoidance and that LiDAR. However, that LiDAR does seem to turn off when it's doing anything automated. So the return to home is pretty basic. It will just fly to a point and fly down, and it turns off pretty much in any point that it's doing anything intelligent. So it looks like they are kind of making a clear distinction between the expensive DJI Mini 5 Pro and the more cheaper options, especially this seems to be very entry level. I think it's a great place to start. Now, how do I have this drone when nobody else does? And to answer that question, let's talk a little bit about some of what's been going on in the drone market recently. If you're aware, DJI has been kind of sneakily licensing / giving out their technology. We're not quite sure exactly what's going on, but a number of companies are coming out with DJI, not knockoffs, because the complexity and the difficulty to replicate it would be impossible, or I want to say nearly impossible. But what's very likely is either DJI is making shell companies or they are licensing out that technology. And this is no different. This is technically a SkyRover S1. However, after some deep diving into some of the components / setup of this drone, I can determine with pretty high confidence that this is based off of the DJI Lito drone, which has not yet released, which is such a wild situation because this company, SkyRover, has released a DJI Mini 4 Pro equivalent with the same sensor setup, same hardware setup. It has some slightly different components from different supply chains, but fundamentally that drone also contains DJI firmware. Makes me think that this is just not a new novel drone, but something that is most likely licensed from DJI. Now, we've had leaks in the past about a DJI Lito drone, which was expected to maybe come out in December, but didn't. And obviously with a lot of the DJI stuff going on with potentially customs blocking it and with some FCC blocking, especially when we saw leaks of like the drone arms, we can see that it is a white drone. Now, it's oddly suspicious that this drone also comes out in white. And in addition, we were talking about two separate drones, a DJI Lito 1. This leads me to believe that this is the DJI Lito 1. They probably might not actually get released by DJI, but DJI is slowly trying to circumvent the customs situation in the United States. That may potentially mean that DJI might never release this drone or might be releasing this under smaller companies for the time being. Specifically, this LiDAR tech that does the obstacle avoidance on the front is something that DJI is the only drone manufacturer I'm aware of that has gotten right and reliable. They used it in their Air 3S, they used it in the DJI Mavic family, and they've gotten the technology down pretty small, which leads me to believe, especially because I'm not aware of any other drone manufacturer being able to do it that isn't a clone, it's just highly odd that the first drone that this company comes out with is a clone of a DJI Mini 4 Pro, and then the next drone that they come out is arguably on par with some of DJI's best technology for something that they're offering for $300. That, in addition to the hardware similarities, some of the software that you can see, there is a number of situations, a number of details that lead me to believe that this is in fact the DJI Lito 1, at least in terms of hardware. SkyRover, for their DJI Mini 4 clone, the SkyRover X1, did go about changing up the cover a little bit, changed the colors a little bit, and kind of smooth some things out and slapped like their own skin on it. but fundamentally the hardware didn't change, and I believe that this is the DJI Lito 1. Yes, it may look slightly different, but fundamentally I also think that the hardware won't change much. The only difference that we saw from the DJI Mini 4 Pro and the SkyRover S1 is that the SkyRover S1 didn't have any onboard storage. So potentially this drone, the DJI Lito 1, might actually come with some onboard storage where the SkyRover S1 might not. Now, should you buy this drone? I made a bunch of videos about various different clones that have recently come out of different drones. Some of DJI's enterprise drones have come out via different companies. SkyRover has come out, and there was a company called Specta that released 2 drones and then kind of disappeared. It is interesting that each of these companies is, especially it's weird that it's usually about 2 drones per company, or 2 models that have basically copied from DJI's lineup that appear, are produced, you can buy stuff for, and then kind of fade out of existence. It seems like that's the strategy that DJI is aiming for now in order to sell their product or make income from the United States. So this drone specifically, since we have basically the DJI Lito drone here, and it's released before DJI, it does make me raise the serious question. It's possible that drone never does get released and the IP is instead sold, or it's sold through shell companies or companies that are licensing the technology. It does produce quite a predicament though, because some of the companies, especially like Specta, had some weird issues where you couldn't find batteries for a bit. So I don't know how these companies are being run. If they're licensed, there's a potential that the company goes out of business. However, SkyRover did release their X1, the SkyRover S1, and has now released an additional drone. This is what we saw similar with Specta. Specta released their first drone, and then they released a second one, which was basically a DJI Mini 4K equivalent. So they did an Air 3 and then a DJI Mini 4K, and that was Specta. Now, this is SkyRover, another company that has released a DJI Mini 4 Pro equivalent, and now it looks like a DJI Lito equivalent. So for the time being, it looks like this is probably the best way that you're going to be able to get reliably new DJI products. However, you're lacking a lot of the support network and the repair network that you would get with the DJI system. So it is a reasonable trade-off to make, especially if there is no DJI option for this drone. It seems going forward that DJI might just be a behind-the-scenes manufacturer of hardware and technology and will sell through other companies. It's just weird to me now that we've gone from DJI producing this stuff to DJI kind of silently supporting other drone companies in the industry. I want to thank you very much for watching. I'll give you a reminder that you can check out all the photos and videos that I record on this drone, download them and take a look at them, and hopefully see you soon.